Hello and welcome to week 2's Dinosaw of 2022. Another 7 curious, interesting things I saw last week, so let's crack on. The first one was hinted at a few weeks ago. I think I even mentioned it in the Dinosaw, that BMW were saying they were going to bring a colour-changing car to CES, the Consumer Electronics Show that was going on the last week or so, and they have. So here it is. So this is their latest EV. This is their iX. M something or other, can't quite remember, but this is their Flow edition, which is a sort of demo, has all sorts of theatre mode and stuff like that inside, but what you're really interested in is the outside. So this uses lots of panels of e-ink, so the same as what you get in a Kindle e-reader, which can change between these two colours. I guess more colours will be available, but I won't go into how e-inks work. However, what you can do is you can change it from light to dark, so if you are going to leave your car in the shade or in a bright sunshine, you could change the car colour to make it a bit more comfortable when you get back. You can also flash things like the wheels, or in this case, actually, they'll show you later on in the video, the wing mirrors. So for instance, if you're indicating left or right, you can actually flash panels to show that you're indicating. So that's pretty neat. Obviously, it's just a demo at the moment. You can actually see at the side of all the panels lots of bits where it joins, so it's not exactly paint, so to speak. But there you go. That's probably a sign of things to come. Colour changing cars. Obviously really good for getaway drivers if you've just done a bank robbery to evade the police. There you go. In Goldfish news, there's actually 2 stories about Goldfish this week, but I chose this one. So this is actually the latest instalment of a bit of research using Goldfish in robots. There's a sort of 4-year-old piece of research that I think I've reported on before. However, this is the latest piece of research which was published. And this is actually a goldfish driving a fish-operated vehicle, or a FOV. Obviously, a bit of hilariousness in the actual paper itself. But what's going on here is the fish is in a tank. The tank has a camera above it, and wherever the fish swims, the camera can actually turn that into motion, and therefore the fish is controlling the robot, and it is given a reward when it hits the little red square at the end of the wall. So what they've shown is that you can take quite literally, well, not a fish out of water, but you can take it out of its natural environment, and it can start to use skills or adapt skills into a completely different environment. So it sounds like a little bit daft, but what it was really interested in is, are animals, or are we restricted in our abilities based on our local environment? And as Goldfish will show you, yes we are. So this has sort of parallels, I guess, with the metaverse, in that we're approaching it with arms and legs and motion and all that sort of stuff, and vision and thought and forethought. So if we're taking out of our environment, our local environment that we know, what should we be doing with it if we're challenging our senses? So if a fish can do it, I'm fairly sure we can. This is the Noveto N1, or N1. This is a soundbar. Now, I've seen this sort of stuff, but it's been more industrial use before. And what's going on here is it's using ultrasonic speakers. So sometimes you might have heard these called flat panel speakers before, but they use ultrasonics, which have tended to be quite tinny. But the thing that you can do is you can actually focus ultrasonic sound. So if you've ever been to an exhibition, you've stood under a thing called a sound shower, those sorts of things, or a sound laser, I think they're also called. This is basically what they're doing here. So what they can do, they're using face tracking to then figure out where you are in the room, and then what they can do is they can beam sound to your ears, so nobody else can hear that sound, or they can hear very little of it. So you can listen to your music or whatever you want to do, your conference call, without headphones on, but nobody else really can hear that in the room as well. So there you go. Now, there are some caveats to this. If you wear a hearing aid, obviously this doesn't work, it interferes with it terribly. But other than that, it's quite a neat use of what I've seen only for industrial applications up until this point. So there you go, the Noveto N1. I'm not really sure where to start with this one. This is Cryptoland. Now, there's been a few of these, but this is blown up on the internet this week. So this is a video. This is a promotional video for a real-life island. Now, I have to be really careful because I'm not really sure what's fact and what's fiction in this, because it was so either brilliantly or badly done. I'm not really sure. However, This has been around for a while, but the big unveiling of the promotional video was this week, and this is it. So, you know, quote unquote, Pixar style animation. So let's roll VT and you will be wowed. So what's actually going on here? This is an island near Fiji that is a real island that theoretically is going to be bought and turned into a crypto blockchain paradise for real people to buy plots of land and build real things and basically all get to know each other. All the services on the island will be democratized through the blockchain and through NFTs, all those words. However, the video was so cringy, it was unbelievable. Now, if you go to cryptoland.is, the video is now no longer available. If you do search, you will find versions of it out there. It was just super cringy all the way through. Now, this isn't the first one of these as well. There is actually a Satoshi Island as well, doing almost exactly the same thing as well. So we're not really sure what's going on here. However, either they've either had so many copyright takedowns because there was so much in the video that was just a little bit cringy, or they've just thought better of it, or there's something better to come. We don't know, but Cryptoland is seeming to be a little bit of a vision of the future of physical spaces made for crypto people and blockchains. Not really sure what's going on there, but if you do get to see it, please do try and Google it. I haven't put the actual link to the video, but go to cryptoland.is and they might have put it up by then, but check it out. This is amazing. So this was actually kind of brought to me via an interest I had. So one of my colleagues, Serge, if you're watching this, well done. So he actually, I think it was on Sky News, had a video which he directed and presented, which was talking about Afro hair and do we have a problem with Afro hair in the workplace and what are the implications of that. It was called Off Limits, so definitely go and check that out on YouTube, I think. However, there is an open source Afro hair library, which is coming to the aid of, say, 3D games and online experiences, because Afro hair and black hair is underrepresented and often really poorly done. And it's often, if that's part of a 3D team, it's often the last thing to get done as well, because it's not seen as important. However, it is and should be. So this is a really interesting project. It is due, I think, 2023, so it's a little while off, but what's happening here is there's some funds been made available for essentially resident artists, 3D artists, to create inspiring, creative, dazzling and realistic Afro hairstyles, which you can then use as an open library, and you can go as a 3D artist, go and download them and use them within your experiences or games or metaverse experiences, whatever it is. So it's coming out, as I say, in about a year and a half's time, so can't wait for that. Brilliant thing. If you can't wait till then please take inspiration from this. Go and check out Off Limits as well to get a little bit of a background in that as well. So great thing, want to see more of that. Samsung have unveiled their latest update of their Eco Remote. So the Eco Remote, as you see in front of you, has a solar panel on it. If you look at the right hand image, has a solar panel, so you can leave it hanging around your front room and it will charge up. Now, the benefit of this is you don't have to use batteries in this thing, which will then create landfill. I think there's something like 99 batteries get used for each TV remote, because I think the average time, or at the average time you'll have a TV is about 7 years. Therefore, it'll put 99 batteries into landfill. So the point here is there's actually still a battery inside it, really, to store the electricity, but at least you don't have to have the temptation to put singular batteries into it. So the latest version, why this is interesting, uses RF interference to charge up the battery as well. So yes, you can leave it on your table to charge up solar, but if not, if you leave it behind the sofa or whatever, there's actually a Wi-Fi recovery in it. Basically harvests Wi-Fi out of the air, turns it back into electricity to charge up the batteries very slowly. So yeah, so it's only a sort of minor thing. It's not one of those kind of free energy things. It doesn't really do a huge leap forwards for the environment because it still requires some sort of capacitor or battery inside it. But there you go. It certainly is a step forwards for essentially micro devices that can power themselves. They will always need some sort of storage in them. There you go. And finally, Starlink occasionally gets a bit of a mention in the Dinosaw. This is the latest one. So Starlink brilliantly does come with a feature which can actually melt snow, so it'll actually heat up the dish. So Starlink, by the way, is SpaceX's satellite array that will give low-cost broadband to the world. That's the theory. To do that, you will need a Starlink satellite dish of one you can see on the screen right now. Now, their sort of snow melting feature, which uses some of the energy in the dish to actually use that just to melt the snow, obviously to give you a better reception. Now, it obviously turns out that's really attractive to cats in the cold weather as well. So, so it's really interesting. It was a brilliant feature, something that everybody thought was just going to have. Of course, we need this in the snowy climes. However, cats also thought that was amazing. So I just thought it doesn't matter what technology you can throw at it, some cat or some dog or a bird will usually mess it up. So there you go. There you go. If you want to have a look at that, that's in the Tasmanian.com. That's where I found that. There you go. With that, we are done. Hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully it was useful. Hopefully it was inspiring. And I'll see you again next week.